fresh off those NBA Finals, Game 6, Tyrese Halliburton looked unfazed. He wasn't crazy dominant, but he had his input. That was crazy, like that. And SGA was knocking down shots, but he wasn't really effective like he usually is. And Siakam, they showed some clip in before the game in the huddle. It looked like a mix between he was getting some bomb ass fucking head, and they also said he's being like possessed by the angel of death, and he was fucking on today. So, my key points was the last like minute of the half, like the Pacers just went on a flurry, and then you would expect OKC coming out of the half crazy. They didn't score for 5 points, or excuse me, 5 minutes. That's fucking nuts. And to me, that kind of summed it all up. And now we have Game 7. So, but let's get into some of the feedback and stuff, or videos. Let's see, NBA Finals. Oh. Let's go to some of the press conference right now. I don't see no damn highlights right now.
I think we have the right. I think there's different things that we didn't do in the game well that hurt us, but closing out in the finals is different from playoff game because it's like it's the end of the season. You know what I mean? And you play for so long that it just has more weight to it. Obviously, you want to win a championship, and you don't want it to feel like it was all for nothing. So
Jalen Williams,
that's been the biggest difference.
Wasn't really effective this game.
Now,
as dominant as he was in, Game 5.
That way too, like for them being down 3-2, knowing that your season's like on the line and you're in the finals, just has more weight to it.
Second row to the right, Malika.
J-Dub, you and I spoke a couple of days ago about the
My thing is,
of having expectations.
this was the moment Thunder had to clinch. Game 7 with all the clutch moments Pacers and Tyrese have been through.
It's why you play.
This is Pacers championship to lose
not
in
having
Game
that
7.
Same feeling again now start to creep in, knowing it's 0-0 again essentially in this series.
Yeah, that feeling has never really left for me. Again, I don't want to speak for the whole team. Like we're all, that's the human part of playing a sport. Is everybody's going to feel some type of way, but I've definitely had that feeling. Like the whole year, I've had that feeling in December. You work really hard in the summer to get better at things, and when they don't come to light the way you want to, it's kind of easy to get off track and feel sorry for yourself. But at the same time, I try and like be where my feet are. Like I'm in the NBA Finals at 24 years old in year 3.
See,
so I always try and keep that.
That's not the mentality you're supposed to have. Enjoy it privately.
Try and play hard and play better in what I did tonight.
You haven't won anything yet.
Wherever the chips fall, they fall. But I'm not gonna go after this game and think like, oh, I didn't play hard, or whatever the case may be. Just relishing the opportunity.
Last question, Barry.
Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. It's no crime to lose a Game 6 on the road, Jalen. But to lose like this, is there a concern that you emboldened the Pacers and gave them even more confidence for a tough road Game 7 on the road?
That probably has something to do with it a little bit. If they had won by 1, they probably would have walked out of this game with confidence. You know what I mean? And that's what makes them a good team. That's what makes us a good team. Is like we both play to our identity regardless of what's going on. So, I mean, they're going to go into Game 7 and confident, and so are we.
Thank you, Joe.
That's it.
I think someone's fucking doing fireworks outside. Okay.
Jalen Williams, a very mature 24-year-old in his third year of the NBA, in the NBA Finals, has the perspective of that, and now he's playing in a Game 7. Doesn't get bigger than this. The last home game in the Finals, just a few days ago, he had 40 points. How will J-Dub respond in Game 7, Sean?
We'll find out. I think that's the best.
Yeah. To me, what is going to be underlying here is, okay, it's like who's going to win the championship and who's going to win the finals MVP, because if somehow OKC pulls it out, which I know a lot of people are leaning to me, if Jalen Williams scores 30 to 35 in this Game 7, I think he gets the finals MVP, and that'll be the second straight year that the supporting or the number 2 guy has gotten finals MVP, with, it expected to go to Jason Tatum last year, but Jaylen Brown outshined him, and he was one guy I was like totally like he definitely deserves it. And even for the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, like, people thought it should go to Tyrese, but actually went to Siakam. And to me, I kind of, felt Siakam should have got it. Like, Tyrese, the one knock against him is, like, he'll have a good start to the series, but then maybe he'll be a little inconsistent, trailing off. But, props to Siakam on that one. But, yeah, it's like, who's going to win a championship and who's going to win, the finals MVP. Because if you look at the Pacers side, it's kind of, is it Siakam or Tyrese Halliburton? And, I asked a question on my TikTok about maybe a week ago. I said, who is the best X Factor ever? And who we're kind of seeing being the X Factor of this series, to me, is TJ McConnell. And not to me, everybody's talking about it, so it's, I'm not some genius here, but he's looking good, the great white hype, and I love how fundamentally sound he is. You could tell he's like a foot shorter than everybody, but he's using every inch of his body to put his, like, the way he fucking shoots, it's like his arms good. It's not like a fucking jump shot. It's like fully extended and then toss it up. Fucking uses every part of his body to, or every inch of his body to get that shot up. He always is good with his penetration when the Pacers are always jacking up too many threes. But definitely, I'm glad that this series got to a Game 7. I hope they make it more like the finals next year, because it's kind of a bummer. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to go into all that shit again, but, this is definitely the youth taking over the league, and, who's going to have the crown on Sunday. All right, let's check some other stuff out. Is any other shit? Let's see. I don't know if this is a press conference here. Okay, here we go.
Stephen A., this is why we cover this sport. For games like this, for teams like this who can punch one more time and force the 2 best words in sports.
It's special. Coming into the series, you knew that Indiana was being underestimated. A lot of people favored OKC, myself included, but I expected a thriller. I expected a series, and Indiana answered the call. They show up Game 6 tonight. They were ready to ball. Nembhard got things started. Pascal Siakam was aggressive. And then Tyrese Halliburton, the injured one, who nobody expected but so much from, answered the call. I thought he was stellar tonight, no question. He gave them exactly the punch
I thought he played, and I thought he was going to hurt the team's outcome. But credit to him. He said he's a competitor.
And now we've got a game 7. Because of it, it's anybody's game right now, as far as I'm concerned.
And huge for Tyrese Halliburton. He only had to play 23 minutes in this game to preserve him now for a winner-take-all, one game every year.
And you know in game 7, he's going to put on, he probably will even push harder and further because he knows there's nothing after that. And he gave what he needed to give him. And I'm shocked. I'm really surprised that Oklahoma City didn't capitalize, at least make it a game. This was not a game. Halfway through the second quarter,
Tyrese Halliburton didn't play the last 10 minutes of the game, I think.
They didn't
That's
show up here
clutch.
tonight. Look, they're going back home and they earned that. They had the best record in the league. They earned that game 7 at home. But like Stephen A. said, we don't want to mess around with game 7s. I've been a part of those. It doesn't always go the way it's supposed to go.
It's actually the anniversary, Bob, of maybe a game 7 not going the way that you thought it was going to go. But we got to pause for 1 second, Brooke. I want to hear what you have to say about this game, but this is the last time that these Indiana fans are going to see their team at home. Look at the pride showing up for their team. I mean, this is the basketball state. Rick Carlisle said it in 49 other states. It's just
Oh, the
basketball.
Latinos in Indiana.
It feels different. I know that this team, it meant so much to do this, to extend their season for these folks as well.
Well, absolutely. And the energy inside this building was electrifying from top to bottom. No lie. Phenomenal environment. Here's the thing. Let me say this. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton for gutting it out. But the heroes of tonight's game was T.J. McConnell and Obi Toppin. When they came
didn't say
in off
Obi
the
Toppin,
bench and
but I
provided
said
their
TJ.
support and did what they needed to do on both ends of the floor. Because Bob, you and I was talking, we kept saying, Miles Turner, what you gonna do now? Miles Turner, what you gonna do? And all of a sudden, Obi Toppin come in, 2 big threes. They looked like they couldn't stop T.J. McConnell. Here's
The second
thing.
quarter, Miles Turner
Oklahoma City
defense
Thunder
was
got
fucking
pumped tonight.
crazy
All
good.
across the board. Beat on the 50-50 balls, the rebounds, everything. They got pumped. And here's what you need to know. That's why Game 7 is a pickup. It's not a foregone conclusion. It's going to be OKC. J-Dub, after a 40-point performance, was a minus 40 tonight. Regular season, postseason, career low. It's up for grabs. We got to pass for Game 7. Game 7's going to be a thriller. I'm very worried about the noise volume in Oklahoma City for Game 7. It's going to be That's why you get it. Game 7 is going to be a thriller.
Oh, here's Siakam post game.
That versatility on defense and on offense, so that's why it was good for me to, when I saw that, it was attractive.
Dustin here on the left.
Pascal, you guys obviously kind of flipped the turnover battle from Game 5 to Game 6 pretty dramatically. Just what did you like about what you did better on both ends, both causing turnovers and committing fewer?
Yeah, I think somebody asked me that. You was late, Dustin, sorry, but I repeated it again for you.
He's a
But
dick.
no, I just thought we was just, again, at least a little bit stronger with the ball. Obviously, we're not a team that really turns the ball over, but when you play against a defense like they do, like they really disrupt you. So I think it's just the key is just to, 2 hands on the ball, like the most basic stuff. Just make the pass, the easy pass usually, not try to complicate it. And I think
He's been a dick in these press conferences
Last question right
lately.
here on the left.
Who is this guy?
That dunk.
Are you okay, bro? Who are you?
Before that, a big shot that helped get the crowd back into it. How are you able to do both of those things and put even more pressure on the Thunder?
I think Chad, he showed one of my college highlights the other day. All my college was just baby bounce. But sometimes that happens. I was just trying to bring the crowd into the game. They were amazing, by the way.
He reminds me of the guy
rocking and
on that Tom Hanks movie on the boat or whatever.
Us all year, it's just been so amazing, and I'm super blessed to be a part of this. And when we're out there, we just want to do everything that we can for them, just because they they give us so much support from the beginning of the year, and we just want to do it for them.
Thank you, Pascal.
You want to ask the question? I feel like you had your. She had like her hand up the whole time, but go ahead. Last one.
And also just being grateful for the moment at this stage in your career. What allows you to maintain that character and being grateful for these moments?
I think just my family. I think they keep me pretty grounded. No matter what's happening out there, they keep me pretty. Even Kill, just because, I'm still little brother to everyone. So I just having their support, it just means everything to me, and I just, to me, like every time I go out there on the floor, like just playing for them, playing for my dad, people that mean so much to me, and the support that they give me just pushes me to do things that I usually don't do.
Well, you are a monster on the court. Can't deny that shit.
But I'm just so blessed, man. Blessed to be here, and my family is everything to me. So they definitely keep me in check, but also help me achieve what I'm achieving right now. Thanks.
Thank you.
Pascal Siakam, an NBA champion with the Toronto Raptors, looks to win his second NBA championship Sunday night with the Indiana
Warriors all day.
Pacers. 16 points, 13 rebounds tonight, 3 assists. He gets the job done as he has been doing this entire postseason run. Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He's had some big games in this series, and he really has that leadership role with this team, someone who has been there before. We heard Obi Toppin talk about him and some of the workouts that he hosted for a lot of the Pacers players, and it seems like that had a big impact as well. What were some of your thoughts, Sean, hearing from Pascal Siakam and watching his big Game 6?
Who the fuck is this?
Yeah, Siakam strikes me as the leader of the squad, honestly. I know a lot of people probably think it's Tyrese Halliburton, but I think the cool, calm, collected vibe he brings, along with a little bit of an edge, he strikes me with that he has a lot more edge than people give him credit for. And I think that's a lot of the entire Pacers squad. If you go to Obi,
because he's experienced,
TJ McConnell, if you go to Nembhard,
this guy
a
looks
lot of
like
edge on a
he
lot
should
of
be
those
playing
guys. I
fucking
think
football,
Pascal
not basketball.
is the real leader on that squad. That punch was out of this world off the no look from Tyrese Halliburton. That's one of my favorite plays of the playoffs this year. Pascal not shy at all. Don't jump, watch your head, Jalen Williams. So yeah, Pascal Siakam, I love what he's been doing. He's done whatever's necessary. He fits so perfectly with what they want to do. He's been the ultimate team guy. I love what Pascal is doing, and I feel like he is the real alpha for the Pacers, and it showed on the glass tonight with 13 boards.
And that was certainly the play of the game, that Halliburton steal, the no-look dish, and the huge slam.
Yeah, I felt like it was over after that. It was like, I don't know if he's ever coming back.
It felt like...
Yeah, but that Halliburton pass and then the dunk by Siakam, the Halliburton pass kind of looked like a cat throw. He went like hella sus and stuff. But, I guess Halliburton gets away with that shit. But but Cat, he gets called Zest. But alright, let's look for some more.
Like a rap, and that's when the party really started to begin in Indiana. But who's going to have the biggest party of them all? We'll find out Sunday night. One game with the NBA championship on the line. Someone who has a dream season on the line, a historic season, is this year's regular.
See what Club Shay is talking about.
The third highest paid running back. Then you signed Rashad.
They're talking about
Lamar is in line to get an extension. He's going to get money.
Jair Alexander signing with the Ravens. I'm a 49ers fan. That was a big missed opportunity. Would have looked nice. on the
got
opposite
Roquan Smith,
side
who's one of
of
the better middle linebackers. You got
Lenore,
Marcus, who's
but
tremendous at the slot. Jair, if he can stay healthy, that's been his issue the last several years in Green Bay. He couldn't stay healthy. And then, you know, them trying to push him to get on the field. He's
talking
like,
to Joe
healthy.
Johnson
When
about
I'm out
this.
there, I'm looking bad, so I put bad tape out there. So he's like, we knew it was just going to eventually it was going to end with them. But I like this move. They're one of the better teams now, from top to bottom, offense and defense. We know what they represent offensively. With Lamar.
I don't think Shay Shay's been working out because his neck looks fucking thin as fuck. He's usually like
top three, him, Christian
fucking
McCaffrey,
yoked.
Saquon. Now Lamar's going to have to do it. I just need to be Lamar in the postseason that we see in the regular season. That's it. I don't need him in a cake, but I just need him to be him in the postseason like he is in the regular season. And he does such a great job. Go back and look at his stats. Great job protecting the football. And
Come on,
for
Skip.
some ungodly reason.
Come on,
And I
Skip.
don't know if he's putting too much pressure on himself, but the turnovers happen.
Well, I think
The turnovers get you beat.
you know in the postseason things are.
Why is Joe Johnson a regular on there? SGA press conference.
The way I see it is, we suck tonight. We have to learn the lessons, and we have one game for everything we've worked for, and so do they. And the better team Sunday will win.
Second row, Michael.
Jay, Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. You know, you've been under pressure this whole series from them defensively. Tonight, they were able to get into the ball with more success, I guess, than they've had. You know, did they do anything different? The turnover numbers for you were unusually high. Any explanation?
Yeah, I don't even know. They just turned us over a bunch. They didn't pressure full court like they have been, which led to more turnovers. I didn't expect that, but whatever it is, they did it right. And if we want to win on Sunday, we got to take care of the ball.
He looks pressured, but he doesn't look phased. That's the one thing I respect
Rebecca
that
Andrews'
I
point.
didn't
Follow up
have
on
coming
that,
into these
different,
finals.
Question, but they picked you up just much higher than they had been. They were picking you up by like 60 feet in the first 5 games, and from 39-ish feet today. Did you feel that difference? Was that maybe part of it that led to that?
They were definitely lower on the pickups. I'm not sure. Like some of them, I think was just like carelessness and not being focused, not being as engaged. They played harder than us tonight as well, and when a team plays harder, they usually turn the other team over. So it's probably a combination of multiple things.
The NBA Finals versus the second round, but this series has so many similarities to the Denver series. The other team goes up 2-1. This sort of Game 6 letdown. Can you learn anything from your punch back there that you can apply here?
Yeah, I think the way we felt in that series was it's a 3-3 series, 0-0. You have one game.
I definitely
to
thought they were
advance, and the
losing
better
that
team will
one.
win. And I think it's the exact same
Against
thing.
Denver.
Everything that's happened in the series, you try to learn from, and you try to put it all together for one night and see where it takes you.
Third row, Tim.
Jay, did you guys, you individually, did you feel the weight of the chance to clinch a championship tonight?
Definitely in the back of our minds, for sure. Now, we didn't play like it at all, and that's why the night went the way it did. We got exactly what we deserved, what we earned, and we have to own that.
Mark Spears, ESPN Landscape. Shay, you played in one and out NCAA tournament games, Olympics. What is this like? Can that time help you at all, learning from that, and also being who you are? Do you feel like you have to put a cape on to ensure the championship?
Yeah, all those experiences help me for sure. The like one and done experiences, do or die games. There's lessons from every game, but those games in particular for sure are gonna help. And I don't feel like I have to do anything other than just be the best version of myself. And I think that goes for everyone else in the room. We just have to bring what we bring to the table, what we've brought to the table all year, and bring it at our best come Sunday.
First right here, Jenny.
Hey Shay, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Take me onto that bench in the fourth quarter. You haven't sat a lot of fourth quarters in situations like tonight where you guys are losing. What's sort of going through your mind, and how does that time you're on the bench in the fourth go? Just mentally, how you're processing things.
Thinking about what you could have did better, or what I could have did better tonight. Also, like watching the group on the floor was impressive. They were great. They haven't played all series, and then they go out there and play as hard as they did. It was inspiring, and they were really good tonight. Kind of taught me a lesson. And then just trying to do everything I can learn from to get ready for the next game.
First question here, right here on the right, Joel.
Joel Energy with Oklahoma. Shay, a little bit of a two-parter. I think the broadcast caught you saying it's Sundays for all the marbles. I wonder how you're viewing this opportunity and sort of the weight of it.
It's one game for everything you ever dreamed of. If you win it, you get everything. If you lose it, you get nothing. It's that simple.
Are you sensing any differences in the difficulty of closing out a finals versus closing out any other playoff series?
No, I see it as the same thing. Like in round 2, if we had lost, I would have been just as disappointed. We would have went home and our season would have been over. And if we lose, the season's over in the wrong way. So either way, I would have been extremely disappointed. So I don't think it's much different.
Thank you, Shay.
Can I go back a little bit of the
We'll
history
see.
with Kobe and I? Okay, before we get to the when he was.
Oh, let's see. T.J. McConnell's dad crashes his post game.
You know, Isaiah, Smitty, Brendan, Jared. So just a couple moments ago, Tyrese Halliburton referred to you as the Great White Hope. You certainly put it all out there tonight. What has gotten into you here in these games, and obviously when your team needs it the most?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, it sounds redundant when I say it, but I'm just trying to do my job. Come in, inject energy, and get our team moving offensively and defensively.
I feel like he's a coach on
get
the
us
floor.
out and do what we do best and run.
TJ, you come from a basketball family. Your sister plays. Your dad was, you know, coaching you hard growing up, and it seems like you've been playing this way really like your whole life. And a lot of guys have to get into the NBA, change their game, change their style, but your temperament, your way of playing actually fits this Pacer team and Rick Carlisle. Talk about how convenient and good that's been for you that you found a team that not only accepts your style, but also a fan base that loves you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I obviously got to give my dad credit. You know, he told me I'm not obviously going to be the biggest, I'm not the fastest, but you can outwork people.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what I've tried to hang my hat on. And, you know, in terms of coming here, they value me so much, the front office, the coaching staff. I can't put it into words.
You can just tell he's like the fundamental king
to play here
in practice.
And these fans, like I said, I can't put it into words. I love it here. I love these fans. I love this organization.
You should have blamed your dad for why you're not the biggest. It's his fault.
Yeah, I mean, we won't go there, but yeah, it's definitely his fault.
DJ, the question for me is, we've been watching you play throughout your entire career. Tonight, you know, the steals, the assists, the buckets, but the 9 rebounds. Just walk me through the mindset for you going out and collecting 9 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, you know, our coaches do a good job of, you know, obviously telling us what we do well, but also what we don't do well. And I feel like I get into trouble sometimes of not boxing out. And I made a concerted effort to box out my man and go get the 50-50 balls. That's something that's kind of hurt us.
That's what Iman
So we gotta
Shumpert said was
continue
the key to
you know,
tonight's game.
box out
50-50
and
balls.
you know, rebound.
You know, you won Game 6 here at home. Now you got a Game 7 to win a championship. What will you guys take from this game and try to apply to the next one?
You know, it sounds super cliche, but you got to flush this one. Obviously happy that we won, and we'll look at the film and see what we did well. But Game 7, especially on the road, is a whole different animal. And we've got to be locked in on both ends and just be super together, because we're all we're going to have on the road.
Yeah. TJ, your game is extremely unique. In an era where everybody's looking to shoot the 3-ball, you are living in that mid-range. Talk about what has led to that, the confidence that you have in that. Almost, we talk about your game kind of resembles Andre Miller a lot. So talk to us about your game and how effective it's been.
That's a compliment, so I appreciate it.
Andre Miller was cold. For the young guys that don't know who Andre Miller is, was cold.
I think for me, it's coming down and just getting to my spots and knowing what I do well.
Denver
Obviously, if they leave me open, I'm going to shoot it from 3, but just getting to my spots and shooting it and just getting my teammates involved is something that I've tried to do since I've been in the league, and not step outside that box. I think that's when players get in trouble.
I want to take you back to the beginning of this game. Your season is on the line.
That's why his dad to run in already.
And the team comes out. You miss your first 8 shots. At times, it looked like Tyrese was being a bit hesitant, giving up shots, passing the ball, and you find yourselves down early in the game, 10-2. Timeout. Then you go on a 24-7 run. What were you thinking in those early moments, and what changed?
I think all of us just said don't flinch. Obviously, the OKC was going to come out and throw a hellacious punch, and they did. But our group did a good job of hanging in there and kind of getting the lid off the rim. And we settled down. Our crowd got into it, and we just did what we did best.
Was there any thought that Tyrese wouldn't play the way he did?
I mean, you got to be careful with a calf injury like that, but I think we all knew he was going to play. The guy is a warrior, and we all got his back.
All right, so what's the distance you need between you and your dad to yell at him for not being taller or not marrying somebody that was taller?
I know he's standing right there, but
my man, come on in here. Come on in here.
Who's more fired
His
up?
dad's running in right now.
I love it.
It's unbelievable.
Good to see you, man.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
Congratulations.
DJ,
I'm going to tell you right now, he's a warrior. You're right. It doesn't matter how tall you are.
That's right.
That's your fault.
The heart of a champion.
Yes.
What do you think?
That's funny.
Excellent. Just disappointing, missed 2 foul shots in the beginning. I kept saying, man, I wish he'd have made those 2 foul shots. But he recovered, and we won the game. So I can forget about the foul shots. Anything can happen in Game 7.
Always.
We're going to OKC to try to win a world championship. And my son's a part of it, and I can't believe that.
Pops, I got one question for you. Why were you harder on him and softer on your daughter?
He says that.
It's
that's
true.
A lie.
It's true, because it's true.
My daughter was an undefeated state championship. He lost in the state championship. We lost 2 games. So undefeated. He didn't play as well in the state championship. He played great, but we didn't win it.
Unbelievable.
He's getting embarrassed.
Gotta love it, TJ. Got to love it. Now she's with the Mercury, so I can't be more proud to say I have a son in the NBA and I have a daughter in the WNBA. This is a dream come true, and I'm going to OKC for my son to play in the championship game to win the world championship.
25 years from
Yes.
Does your dad have an agent?
I love this guy.
No, he doesn't need an agent.
I would love to represent him.
I'm sure you would love that.
TJ, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for lending us your dad. Great performance tonight.
All right, that's enough of me. I'm out of here. Your boy was tired, but yeah, I'm out of here, and tune in and